Hello lovely people, welcome to the Geek Cupboard, I'm Penge and welcome to Choice of Life Wild Islands, which is a good old classic choose your own adventure type of a game, and it's the third in the series. We have played the other two. We've played both Choice of Life Middle Ages and Choice of Life Middle Ages 2, and I really enjoyed them. I know they're not overly complicated, they're just fun and simple to play. You're in a situation and you pick what you want to do from sometimes 2 or sometimes 3 options, and that's kind of it. You make your choice and then you see where the game takes you. Nice and straightforward and a lot of fun to play. The Choice of Life games also do feature a huge number of different and very inventive ways for your character to die. I think in one of the previous games we got killed by a pine cone, which was a sad way to go out, but there we go. Anyway, time to dive right into Choice of Life Wild Islands and see what kills us this time round. Okie doke, here we go, and it looks to me like our story begins whilst we're out at sea, because we're definitely on a boat. It's all very boaty in the background there. We can see the sea over the edge of the boat, and then on the boat itself we've got the deck and rigging and the wheel. There's a door there that might go to the captain's cabin or whatever, I'm not entirely sure, but we are definitely on a boat, and I believe we're being spoken to by this sailor over here. So they're saying if the ship needs sailors and nobody's signing up, where to find new blood. Okay, and then we have to make a choice. Do we swab the deck and listen, or do we remember what happened yesterday? Okay, right, so I'm not entirely sure what's happening right now. Are we a sailor as well? Or are we, I don't know, are we the captain? I don't know, I'm not entirely sure. At the top here we have our 3 lovely kind of health hearts. I expect to see them tumble down to nothing very soon indeed. We're going to die in lots of ways, as we said. We're going to die in many, many exciting and creative ways. So, part of the fun of the game, I think, is seeing exactly how many different ways we can die. So that'll be something to sort of look forward to. I mean, you can carry on. It's sort of fun. The game lets you carry on quite nicely. So it'll be okay. So we'll see these tumble down as we play. We'll try and stay alive as much as we can, but they're going to come down a bit with all sorts of daft reasons. So that's our current heart situation. Looking good right now, but I don't really understand what our position is on the boat. Maybe that says, hang on. There's somebody there in a blue bandana. The sailor there's in a blue bandana, and the sailor on this card down here is also in a blue bandana. So is that us possibly? Or is that us? Are we wearing a blue bandana, or do we have this kind of wonderful golden hair? I'm not entirely sure. Okay, so if the ship needs sailors and nobody's signing up, where to find new blood? Swab the deck and listen, or remember what happened yesterday. I don't know what happened yesterday because I've got no context as to what's happening. I don't know what did happen yesterday. Do we get a clue game? Do we get a clue? Or do we just swab the deck and listen? I mean, that's always quite a good thing, isn't it? Just, keep cleaning the deck, stay out of people's way, just get on with stuff, and maybe we can overhear some information or something. I think maybe this sailor is just sort of chatting away and we're listening in. Maybe that's what's happening. So let's swab the deck and listen in to whatever chatter's going on. That might be a good idea. Okay, so sailor then says go to a tavern, look for some sturdy men, get them drunk, and bring them to the ship. Okay, now we can choose between swab the deck and listen, or why am I swabbing the deck? I'm not a sailor. Oh, okay. Right, okay. Has this happened to us? Did we go to a tavern last night and then get drunk and then end up on this ship? Is that what's happened? Because I think that's us. I think this character here with the very lovely sort of goldeny orangey hair there, I think that's us. I'm fairly sure that's us. Okay, why am I swabbing the deck? I'm not a sailor. I think these sort of sailor piratey types got us drunk and they've brought us onto the ship and we don't really know why we're here. I'm thinking that might be the case. Okay, why am I swabbing the deck? I'm not a sailor. I'm going to go for that one. I'm going to go for that. It's not your job. What are you even doing here? The captain passing by glares at you grimly. Seems like this is your job now. Okay, right, we're a sailor now. We weren't a sailor, and now we are a sailor because we got a bit drunk. Okay. Okay, the same thing at the top there. Swab the deck and listen. Keep talking. I'll have a rest. Okay, if the captain is glaring at us, I don't think resting is going to be the best option. I think, again, let's try and stay under people's ye olde nautical radar and just sort of, look busy and nobody's going to do anything to us. If we have a rest, the captain's gonna, poke us in the eye with his hook hand or something, and we're going to lose a heart. So I think we'll swab the deck and listen. Let's just sort of keep out of the way. Then they wake up tied to the wheel, and the ship's far away at sea. Says the sailor. Okay, right, yeah, so we were duped by these people here. We're not a sailor, or we weren't a sailor, but now we are a sailor because we are out on a boat doing sailing. So by proxy of being on a boat sailing around, we've become a sailor, even if we don't really want to be one. Brilliant. Okay, we're on a boat, having a boaty journey. Yeah, that's how you got here. Born a landlubber, now a sailor. Okay, so we can try to escape from the ship or accept our fate. Okay, I mean, really, I don't know exactly where we are, but I'm going to guess we're out in the middle of the sea. So escaping from the ship, where can we go? There's nowhere for us to go. I think right now is going to be a bad choice to jump into the water and try to swim away. Sharks. Sharks are going to eat us. That'll be one fairly obvious way that we could die. So I think for now, let's accept our fate. Yeah, we'll go for that one. Is that our hair? We have very fancy hair. Okay, we spend a lot of time on our hair. Conditioning it, making sure it's all nice and soft. It looks very good. Okay, we'll accept our fate, I think. We'll go for that. Whatever happens, happens for the best. But for whose best? It's a good question. We won't see any land now to reach America. Or so they say, but I know that's all lies. Okay, and what's the truth? Or I don't care about your stories. Okay, so what's the truth, sailor who's sort of kidnapped us and put us to work on a boat? Like, are we a captive? Are we going to get, treated like the other members of the crew? Or are we an actual captive? Like, do we go down into a basement and are we chained up or whatever? I don't know. What's our social standing on this boat, please? What are our rights? Can I please look at my contract, please? Thank you. Okay, so what is the truth? If you're saying that we're not going to America, what is the truth then? There's no America. We're being fooled. Oh, okay. Everyone who wants to go to America was taken to collect some herb. The local people defend it and fight for it to the bitter end. That's why almost nobody returns. What about those who returned after all? What is the herb? Okay, what is the herb? I'm going to assume it's tobacco. I'm assuming it's tobacco. I don't know, brother. What I really know is that the plague is near. The herb will be worth its weight in gold to the ones who have it. Okay, so now the plague has been thrown into the mix. Good grief. Got it? We need to tell everyone. Okay, I need to tell everyone. I need to tell the captain. Okay, so do we go and break the news of the the fact that this chappy here, the sailor, doesn't believe in our sailing goals? Do we go and tell everybody? Or do we go and tell the captain? I think we might go and tell the captain, because the captain will know more information about this, and they might sort of warm to us if we effectively dob this guy in and say, do you know what? The sailor in the blue bandana, he's going around saying that we're not going to America, and we're going to go and grab some sort of herb. And also you threw the word plague in there as well. I'm not quite sure why, but what's going on, captain? So I think we go and tell the captain. The captain gave you some wine from his stash and promised to cut your throat if you told anyone else. The next night, the chatterbox sailor fell overboard. Okay, so the captain essentially confirmed that that's true. We're not really sailing to America. We are going to go and look after this sort of mystical, magical herb type thing. But nobody else is to know. We got an extra heart because we had some lovely wine. Okay, I mean, possibly wine is what got us into this predicament in the first place on this boat, but never mind. And then, yes, the chatterbox sailor has fallen overboard. Okie dokie. Right, well, there we go. That's one little kind of bonus. We have an extra heart now. Marvellous. Time is passing by on the ship, and there's more and more work to be done, and more hungry mouths to feed. Okay, so we could help in the galley, or we could swab the deck with the others. Okay, I mean, if there's hungry mouths to feed, maybe we could go and help out with a little bit of cooking, because that's probably a bit more enjoyable than having to just swab the deck all the time. So, do you know what? Yeah, let's go and help out in the kitchen. You could learn to cook here if only they cooked anything edible. You notice that the cook is stealing food. Tell the other sailors, or steal too. I think, because food is finite on this boat, we need to make sure that everybody is aware of this. We need to basically go, do you know what? The cook is stealing food. Isn't that terrible, everybody? Maybe I could be your cook from now on, and we could get a position on the boat. I think maybe that's what we do. So tell the other sailors. The sailors get angry and want to give the cook a beating, but they can't. He's the captain's brother-in-law. He's not to be messed around with. Oh, okay, right. So the cook has got a little bit of a sort of a family tie to the captain. Oh, that's a bit of a nuisance. Brothers. Oh, says a cannoneer. Okay, a different person. They've got a hat on. Exciting kind of piratey hat. Brothers, get down to the cargo hold for bare knuckle fighting. Anyone who doesn't come is a captain's rat. Okay, so we could participate and do some fighting, or we could watch. The way I see it, the fact that we've got this like amazing hair, and we're wearing quite a nice sort of crisp white shirt on those earlier pictures, I see us as being someone who is not naturally kind of combative. You know, if we got into fights all the time, it would mess our hair up. So I see us as being somebody who, you know, takes pride in their appearance a bit, and they don't want to go and do all the fighting because it's going to make them look all unkempt. We're sort of more of a thinker rather than a fighter, I would say. So we shall watch the fighting. What do we have to do? There are no seats in the hold, so you'll have to watch on your feet. Place your bets, brothers. Let the first fight begin. Who's your money on? Don't hesitate, folks. You're among friends. Okay, so we could bet our dinner. We could bet our shirt, but yeah, I quite like our shirt. You know, it's quite a nice sort of crisp, sort of tidy looking shirt. It's got an exciting open collar on, very fancy, showing off a bit of chest there. So no, I don't think we'll bet our shirt. Let's bet our dinner. Let's bet some food, shall we? Let's do that. Let's bet our dinner. The risk is high, but if you manage to win... Okay, right. Battle of the century. Strength against speed. Mind against muscles. May the best man win. Okay, so do we bet on Johnny Giant Body here? Effectively just a wall of muscle. Just a wall of muscle with some legs and a head on the top. Or do we bet on somebody here who is a bit leaner? A little bit leaner, but yes, they're more dexterous. So they can move around a bit quicker, they can dodge a bit better, and yes, apparently, yeah, they're mind against muscle, so they're going to be a bit more sort of thinky and clever. I think, let's bet on the dexterous fighter. Let's go for you. Come on, please win. Your fighter evaded attacks for 5 minutes, then he took one hit and passed out the same second. Botherations! There's no point evading all the attacks for 5 minutes if you don't then attack yourself. Oh dear. Perfect victory. Who placed bets? It's time to settle the bills. Pay your debt. Oh no, we're going to be hungry. Okay, yes, we lost our kind of heart that we got from having some wine. It's hard to survive on a ship without food. Hard working and hunger make a bad combination. Well, you knew what you got yourself into. Okay, it was worth a go. It was worth a little go. Oh, hang on a minute. The book over here just lit up. Okay, so what's that about then? Okay, right, yeah, so we have a little kind of log of the people we meet and the items we're holding, the skills we pick up, and the titles we acquire as we go along. There are 16 pages of titles. Oh my goodness me, okay, that's quite a lot. That's quite a lot of titles that we could potentially pick up. Okay, well, what are we doing here? Loafing about? I'll skin you alive, you vermin, says the captain. So we can run out of the hold, or we could hide in the nearest barrel. Okay, no, we're not going to do that because I'm not in a cartoon. Let's run out of the hold. The captain might see us, but we're just going to run out and say we're going to do some tidying up or something. Let's leg it out. You didn't get far. The captain caught you. It seems that you will undergo a harsh interrogation. Oh, botherations. Okay. The landlubber. So, care to tell me who's behind these fights? Or maybe you'd like to meet the captain's daughter. Okay. I don't think you mean your actual daughter. I don't think you mean that at all. We can either rat out the cannoneer or hold our tongue valiantly. But if we do hold our tongue valiantly, then yes, we are going to meet the captain's daughter, who I imagine is going to be a stabby knife or a shooty gun or something unpleasant. It's going to be like a sharpened peg leg or something. I think let's rat out the cannoneer. Let's rat them out because, you know, they've brought us here against our will. We don't want to be here. We were quite happy in that tavern having a few drinks and then we went back to our regular job. I mean, who knows what our normal job was? Just, you know, wandering about with our amazing hair looking fabulous. So yeah, I'm not averse to ratting out these people here because, you know, we don't want to be here. They effectively kidnapped us. So yeah, let's rat out the cannoneer. Okay, we've picked up our first title. There we go. Whistler. Fortunately, you weren't the only one who confessed. If it would be so, the cannoneer would explain to you the evils of snitching. But now he has more important things to think about. Okay, so we've picked up a title of Whistler. And yeah, there you go. I whistle along on the 7th day. Okay. Does that mean something? Is that like a part of a song or something, like a shanty? I'm not entirely sure, but there we go. So we've ratted somebody out, and now we have our first title. And if I recall correctly, the titles can possibly come into play later on in the game. So maybe at some point in the dim and distant future, the fact that we are a whistler and that we've dobbed somebody in might come in useful later on. I'm not entirely sure. But okay, right, so we're now a whistler. Oh, okay, does that mean another day has gone by? Right, the cannoneer, who is not overboard and who isn't being eaten by sharks. Oh, okay, the food is running out, the work doesn't stop. It's the second week already, and we still haven't seen America. Now we can't even have fun. Brothers, let's rise up against this tyranny. Okay, we could rise up, or we could just stand at the side. Count me out. I'm not getting involved in this. This is going to be bloodshed and terror and violence, and I'm just going to sit at the side, thank you. Count me out. You were tied up and thrown into the hold. Okay. I mean, potentially, if that's away from, say, the mutiny, that might be quite good. Here we go. We get our first map. Okie dokie. Right, so we've opened a path. However, the only path is up here. So yeah, we get a little kind of path now, which is fun. So yeah, we can go to here. But look, this is the boat we're on. Okay, so yeah, we saw this, but from a different angle, of course. We saw that thing. I don't know what that is. What is that? Like a way into the hold or something? Boats have them. I don't know what they are. That thing there. So we saw that. We saw the captain's cabin and the wheel and the rigging and everything else. So there we are. And then, yes, at the moment, we only have that one kind of location to go to. But we can, on different maps, get different locations to move between. So we will move our little kind of... It's almost like a game piece on a board, look. They're on a sort of a base. It looks like a little sort of figurine character type thing you can move about. So we'll go over here. And I'll say deal with the mutiny. We shall see what happens with the mutiny, because we can only go over here. Sailors went to mutiny, but one of them stayed to watch you. The clang of sabres and roar of guns can already be heard above. Okay, I've changed my mind. I'll support the mutiny. Move the guard to pity, or try to untie yourself. I mean, I'm not going to go and support the mutiny, because if there's a clang of sabres and roar of guns, then we're going to go up there and just either get stabbed or shot or both or whatever. So I'm going to try to untie myself, and maybe I could then either overpower this guard and then just sort of lurk down here and defend myself if people come down to get me or whatever. I'm going to try to untie myself. The sailor doesn't see your effort with the knots. There's nothing to see. The ropes are tied properly. Nah, bother. Okay, the battle above is still going. Your half-naked guard is getting cold and swears at you for having to watch you. Okay, why is he half-naked? That's not my fault. I didn't make you half-naked. I'm just down here. You can leave me alone. I'm apparently tied up. It's probably fun. Suggest he jumps to warm up. Okay, so tell him to do some kind of jumping squat type things. Or say nothing and watch. I mean, okay, let's try and be nice to him. We're both in a situation we don't particularly want to be in. I think you should do some warm-up work, my good sir. Do some burpees or whatever they're called. Do some star jumps. Maybe run on the spot for a bit. Yeah, suggest he jumps to warm up. Oh, okay, we lost a heart because the sailor started jumping to get warm and accidentally falls on you. So we just lost a heart because a man fell on us. A half-naked man who was a bit cold fell on us. Well, you clumsy sausage. Brothers, victory is ours. First order as the new captain. The old boss and his cronies get the dinghy and paddle the hell away. Oh, right. The cannoneer and the mutineers have prevailed. They've come through. And now he is the captain. And yes, the old captain and his cronies are going to be sent away in a dinghy or a rowboat or whatever. At least they aren't making me go with them. We're saying, I think they might be. The captain lost his left eye, and almost all his supporters are dead. Only 2 sailors and the navigator go with him on the boat. By some reason, when they go into the open sea, they smile in a suspicious manner. Okay, can we also get on the boat with them? Have they done something to the boat? Have they rigged it to explode or something? I'm not sure. There's few of us now, but we'll manage. Let's celebrate. Okay, have a feast with everybody, or rob the captain's cabin. Ooh. Okay, do you know what? If everybody's having a party, if everybody's over in the sort of, the mess hall or whatever it is, dining and having, I'm saying dining, eating, feasting on this stuff here, maybe we could use that opportunity to go and have a look around the captain's cabin, because there might be some nice things in there or some useful items or whatever. So let's have a look around the captain's cabin. Everyone's feasting, no one to stop from taking a peek. Let's go have a little look around. The cabin's empty. Seems the captain was a real miser. One map on the wall, one letter on the desk. Maybe it's worth checking the drawers. Okay, get the map off the wall, because that might be handy. So can we grab the map? Someone scribbled another island on the map. Now this parchment is hardly worth anything. But behind this map hides a stash with wine and cheese. Okay, so the map is pointless, but we've just had some wine and cheese. We've had our own little party. Okay, and it's a posh party as well. They're probably downstairs drinking, ale or grog and eating, fairly basic rations. We've got some lovely wine and cheese. Marvellous. Wine and nibbles. Very nice. Okay, let's read the letter. What does the letter say? My dear friend, the experiments on Vita Aurea has shown it possesses, some scholarly words you have no clue about, even more on the neighbouring island. Consider the news on the coming... The letter cuts off, wherever the second part is, it's not here. Okay, so Vita Aurea maybe, is an island, and they're doing experiments on it, but we don't understand what they're talking about. But the neighbouring island to Vita Aurea is even better. Right, okay, intriguing. Let's rattle the drawers. We might have whilst we're here. Let's rattle the drawers. We've received a strange dagger. The top left one has a weird dagger made of something like glass, light, sharp, quite convenient to use. Okay, yeah, that is a slightly odd material. I don't know what that is. Is it a rock? Is it glass? I don't know. Okay, right. We've got ourselves a strange dagger. Oh, now we have to go back to the feast. Okie dokie. So let's try and creep in. While you were stealing around, the sailors already ate, drank and broke everything they could. The first day without the captain is going great. Is it? Because if everything's broken, that's going to be bad. Right, the parrot is talking to us. Hello there. So the parrot is saying, Storm, steer clear, you strays. The captain left us his parrot. What storm? Steer clear of what? Okay, no, there's a parrot, and that's fun. Hello, the captain left us his parrot. Food? Food? The parrot jumps on your shoulder and wants to stay there forever. Even if you'll feed him. Okay, right, so we've acquired a parrot. Wonderful. Hello there, parrot friend. Do we need to do something about that storm? Oh no, there wasn't a storm. Okay, more days go by. No familiar stars in the sky. No land to be seen. The new captain gives orders every day, but does he really know what he's doing? Captain, are you sure we're headed the right way? Or, I'm starting to understand what the parrot was saying. Oh, okay. Was the parrot referring to the captain as being the storm that's coming? As in, they've ruined everything and it's going to be bad. Do you know what? Yeah, I think I understand what the parrot was saying. See you in paradise. Orlando's a good boy. Oh, is the parrot called Orlando? I saw land. That point on the horizon. Told you I know what I'm doing. Okay, so we could very excitingly and dashingly kind of hang off the edge of the boat like this and point and go, hooray, we're close. Or must be a mountain. Still a long way to go. I mean, are we close? I don't know. I don't know if we're close or not. I'm not entirely sure. I'm just going to say, hooray, we're close, and do a dramatic point and a pose like that, because we're fancy pants. No time to rejoice. A scared sailor approaches you. Okay, hi. That dark cloud on the horizon is a sign of an approaching storm coming toward us. Okay, right. So, God, Captain, we're doomed. An alarmed face, or... a shouty mouth. It's alright. We'll reach the land before it's too late. Why are we yelling this? It's alright. We'll reach the land before it's too late. Okay. I mean, yeah, let's try and reach the land. Let's try and reach the land before it's too late. Can we outrun a storm in a boat? I don't know. Got no idea. The cannoneer captain gives a very, very painful smile, and the navigator will look up from hell and see we manage without his scholarly prattle. Oh no. No. The navigators are important. You need navigators to figure out where you're going and what you're doing. Can a bunch of low experienced sailors control a ship in such a situation? No is probably the question. Yes, the shore is close, but the storm is closer. Okay. I think if the storm is closer, we need to prepare for the storm. I assume, you do that with your sails. You get your sails in, and I don't know, you batten down the hatches and hide. I'm not quite sure, but we shall prepare for the storm. There are many former landlubbers who were tied to the wheel just a month ago, but no veteran boatswain who knows how to survive during the storm. Okay, so we're not alone in the crew, being somebody who was effectively kidnapped by this bunch. There's quite a lot of other landlubbers who were looking equally as clueless as to how to prepare a boat in a storm. Okay, good. This is all going to be fine. If you could land before the storm begins, everyone would certainly survive. But if you're already in the hands of the storm, then being so close to the land is, on the contrary, very crack. Oh. Right. Have we crashed by any chance? Okay, opened ways, storm. Right, where's the storm thing? Up here. Okay, right. Let's head over here and see how we manage the storm. The main mast is cracking at the centre and it's going to fall. You're standing right in its way. Okay, run aside, thrust forward to the base of the mast. Does that make sense? If you run forward to the base of the mast, it's going to fall over. And, it'll fall over us, won't it? Let's do that one. Let's do that. Slivers went flying everywhere, but by some miracle, they didn't hit you. Okay, right, it's very rainy now, of course, on account of the storm, so it's a bit grim out there. A huge wave lifts the ship and tilts it on its side. Sailors are sliding down the deck at risk of falling overboard. Okay, so clutch the railings, clutch the cannon. Okay, I don't know. The cannon's heavier, but the cannon is on wheels. Whereas clutch the railings. Try and grab onto the railings. For some time you'll hang over the oceanic abyss, your fingers starting to bleed, unable to hold you any longer. Then the ship bobs on the next wave and straightens up. Phew. Okay, right. We're still here. We're not dead yet, game. Haha, despite your best efforts. Don't panic. Hoist the boats out. We have 2 of them. There's enough for everybody. Oh, good job, Captain. So your plan is to just abandon ship and run away. You should go down with the ship. Go to the dinghy near the stern of a ship. Go to the dinghy near the bow of the ship. Okay, now which way is which? The stern is the front and the bow is the back, isn't it? I go to the back? I don't know. Go to the dinghy near the back of the ship. Let's go to that one. All sailors who are still alive are gathered near the boat, but there's not enough seats for everyone. Before the dinghy could be untied, the stabbing started. No one wants to stay on the ship, and no one wants the dinghy to sink from being overloaded. I'll be on the boat at any cost, or think of another way to save yourself. Do you know what? We're clever. I think that we're quite smart. We don't need to resort to this level of kind of brutality, if you like. We're going to try and use our landlubbing smarts to resolve this. Let's think of another way to save ourselves. The detailed plan of saving yourself, written with reeds on the deck, seemed perfect before it was washed away by another wave. Okay, right, that's a bit daft, but right you are. There's not so many sailors near the boat. Many of them won't need it anymore, but the fight is still going. Should you risk it? Okay, we can either kill somebody, jump overboard, which will result in death, or watch from a distance. Okay, let's watch. You successfully waited until everyone was washed from the deck by a 5-meter wave. So we just stood back and waited for everybody else to be taken out, and then we went, hooray, brilliant. Right, you're paddling as hard as you can, but you don't move even 10 yards forward. A fragment of a mast just fell into the water near you. Had it been a little to the left, you would have been underwater. Paddle forward without a pause, or clutch the fragment of the mast. What, as in to pull ourselves along? Well, if we're paddling forward but not moving, let's not do that. Let's try and clutch the fragment of the mast. Oh, botherations. For a moment it seems to help, but the next wave blows mast out of your hands and almost drowns you in the watery depths. Okay, we've still got 2 hearts. We're still alive. Please, help me, please. I'm drowning. Help the cannoneer. Don't help the cannoneer. Do you know what? We're going to help you. We're going to help you. You're a bad person, but if we don't help you, that then sort of makes us a bad person. So, no, we're going to help you because that's the right thing to do. Help the cannoneer. You tried to save the cannoneer, but with no success. The sea pulls both of you to the bottom. Okay, I've got 1 heart left. A huge wave covers you and pulls you somewhere at great speed. Fight the wave. Trust your body to the wave. You can't fight waves. Like a riptide, you can't fight that. So do you know what? Let's trust our body to the wave. So is this going to be our first death? Are we going to drown? No. We're still alive. Thanks this wave, you got much closer to the shore, but it is unlikely you'll have such luck again. Oh, good. Storm? Stroke? Right. What are you doing here, Shoe? Do you know where to go? I'll follow you. Okay, I'm going to follow the parrot. I'm going to put my trust in the parrot. In parrot we trust. It's hard to say how the parrot knew anything about storms, but when you follow him, you feel less tired. The shore is very close. Come on, we can do this. We can get to the shore. You're very close to the shore, but now you're too exhausted to fight the storm. No, final push or give up and relax. Oh, now I kind of feel like we should do a final push, but is that going to kill us from exhaustion? But if we give up and relax, are we just going to drown because we're just hanging around in a storm-tossed sea? Final push. By some miracle, you still have the strength to reach the shore, but had it been a yard further, you would have drowned. Oh dearie me. We're on the shore. Somehow you managed to get to the shore and crawl up to a place where the waves couldn't get you. There's a reason to be happy. Unfortunately, you're too exhausted. Breathe out. Okay, we did it. You descend into sleep. The storm destroyed the ship. Nobody from the crew managed to survive. You alone were swept to an unknown, uninhabited shore. I'm not alone. I've got Orlando the parrot. Hi, Orlando the parrot. You're my only friend now, Orlando. Okay, so we survived. You're alive, but for how long? And when we do look a bit beaten up, we don't look overly healthy, do we? Okay, so now we get a completely different map. Opened ways, island. Closed ways, storm. Okay, so storm is gone. So now we've just got wreckage. Wreckage of the ship over here in this little kind of bay type thing. There's a cave over there. We've got a lot of clouds. I imagine these will clear as we explore. There's a pond. Oh, there's birds. Hello. A pond over there with some fish in, trees with fruits in by the look of it. And then... okay, is that a dodo? Okay, there's a dodo just there possibly. And then, yeah, just a bit of a sort of a cliff type thing. Oh, and there's possibly our boat over there. In a bad way. Well, there you go, Cannoneer. There you go. Wasn't it good being the captain? Wasn't it worth all that bluff and bluster and fighting and troublemaking? You silly, silly man. Okay, right. I mean, let's head to the island then, because we have no real alternative. Let's see what's happening over at the island. Okay, and we wake up to our parrot jumping around us going, day spring, morning. The parrot hops around your body, occasionally nibbling on it. Oh, okay, we're not food, parrot, we're not food. So we can say either leave me alone, I barely survived, or you must be hungry. I mean, the parrot is the only friend we now have on this island right now, so let's make sure the parrot stays alive. You must be hungry, my parrot friend, and maybe if we find you food, we could find us food as well. Orlando had a breakfast. Orlando is good. Oh, okay, did you bring us anything? No, Orlando, bring us some fruit or something. You can fly into the trees. Rising to your feet, you see that the storm has subsided, but you can still see the horrible signs of the storm everywhere. Okay, so see the shore or climb higher. I mean, let's see the shore. Climbing higher gives us the risk of falling down and meeting the ground at speed, which will kill us to death. So let's see the shore. Let's have a look along the shore. On the shore you can already see the wreckage of the ship and the junk thrown up by the waves. It is unlikely that the sea will bring anything more interesting today. I mean, could we not look through the junk? Could we not have a look through the junk and see if there's anything worth scavenging? You are distracted from looking around by a loud rumbling in your stomach. Then all the wounds, bruises and scrapes from last night come back to mind. Okay, so look for food, endure hunger and explore the beach. I wonder if parrots are edible. Okay, we're not going to eat Orlando the parrot. Let's look for food. Food is important. Get food, then explore. So let's look for food. Weirdly, the sort of picture for look for food is a nose. I mean, smell for food, possibly. Maybe our eyes would be better for looking for food. But okay, look for food with our nose. Sweet coconuts, bananas and dates. All of which you didn't see on the island. Oh, okay, right, fine. We're going to struggle then. There is hardly any food to be found on this bare beach. But you can't help but look. Especially since the parrot has flown away and is not going to help us. Orlando. Orlando, you traitor. We've been forsaken by a parrot. Oh dear. Okay, look food along the shore. Look near the forest. Okay, right, so what are the chances? Looking near a forest, there's going to be trees. And trees might have fruit growing on them. Whereas if we go along the shore, we're less likely to find some. I suppose we could find crabs or something. Crabs, maybe. I think look near to the forest. Flowers smell really weird. The first mushroom you eat makes you dizzy, and berries look more dangerous than all the animals that are probably already watching you. I'm amazed that we ate a mushroom and it didn't kill us. I'm amazed that our first death wasn't a sort of poisoned mushroom-related death. Okay, right, that's very impressive. Very nearby, on top of a cliff, you see a fat seagull not noticing you. Okay. So do we carefully sneak up on a seagull, or do we throw a rock at it? I mean, how good's our aim? How good is our aim? If we've got a really good arm on us, and we can throw very well, then yeah, that'll be the best option. If this were me, if this were actually me, I wouldn't do that. I don't think I'm very good at it. I can throw a ball a bit, but I couldn't throw a rock, at distance at a seagull with enough force to kill it to death. But I don't know, as our sort of, strapping, swashbuckling chappy here got a good arm on him? I'm not sure. Carefully sneak up, Let's carefully sneak up on a seagull. Let's try and surprise a seagull. You are quite close, a seagull, but at the last moment you put your foot on a slippery ledge. Slipping on a rock, you fall down, down, down. Okay, cling onto the rock, dive into the sand. Oh yes, look at it. We're getting some tumbling into the sand. You are not hurt, but your face hits the shore and you swallow the sand. When you look up, you suddenly see a deep crack in the rock. Oh, okay. Oh, there were birds, there was eggs at the top. Now, botherations. Okay, and they crack at the base of a cliff. A beautiful plant with fragrant leaves grows. Just looking at it makes you drool. Taste the leaves. I won't eat it. It's probably poisonous. Do you know what? At this point, we're so hungry, we're going to taste the leaves of the inevitable death plant. No, you only wanted to try it, but hunger made you lose your head. Soon you've eaten everything. The whole bush, with the flowers and the roots. Okay, do we get some health back? The plant tasted bitter, a little spicy, but satiating. Still, is it poisonous or not? Wait, see what happens. Put 2 fingers in your mouth. What does that mean? Does that help you detect poison, or does it mean be sick? Does it mean vomit? Or is that some sort of indicator of poison? I think we'll wait to see what happens. We're going to put our faith in the sort of mysterious bush plant that we ate. Please don't kill us. Okay, we're back up to 3 health. Slowly but surely you are getting better and better. It's like a miracle plant. Even bruises and cuts don't hurt as much as they used to. Okay, but we ate the whole thing. Can we not have left just one little bit, a little seedling of it, so we could replant it, and then we'd just be fine forever? But no, that's a bit annoying. Now you're feeling surprisingly good. You can do something that doesn't involve food. Walk along the shore. How could this plant help so much? Yeah, that's a good question. How could it help so much? You don't think it grew here just to heal you after a shipwreck? There must be others just like it. Yes, I agree. Walk along the shore. Okay, the eastern shore of the semicircular bay may be littered with shipwrecks, but the fallen trees on the western shore may be useful for building a shelter. Okay, yeah, shelter. We've got food, that's important. We're sort of okay, we've healed up. Now I think, a shelter is going to be useful. So head to the western shore. Let's try and build ourselves a little place to go and live. And something interesting from the ship will probably be found there as well. Okay, maybe, possibly, I don't know. The farther you go, the harder it becomes to wade through fallen trunks and branches, and you don't have the tools to clear the way. Okay, so we could take a rest. I mean, this is just posing. This is just blatant posing, hoping that somebody comes by and goes, ooh, very nice. Or we could heroically climb on. I mean, do we have the luxury of time? I wouldn't say we have the luxury of time to take a bit of a rest and show off our ripped abs. I think we heroically climb on. You get caught on a limb and spend a lot of time trying to unhook yourself from it. Okay, that's not as heroic as I thought it might have been, but never mind. A strong wind starts blowing from the sea, and you remember that you are very wet after the storm. Okay, take off your clothes or try to make a fire. I'm going to try to make a fire, because that's also useful for cooking food if we find any. So yeah, and also, yeah, if it's a big enough fire, people might see it from far away and come to help us. So yeah, that makes sense. That's got more sort of more function. Whereas taking off our clothes just seems a bit... that seems a bit like we just want more people to pass by and go, ooh, at our ripped abs again. So let's try and make a fire. You've gathered enough fuel for a fire, but do you have what? Hang on, what? But do you have what to fire it with? I'm not quite sure that sentence is structured correctly, but okay, what are we going to start the fire with? I think that's supposed to say, rub 2 sticks together, or search the shoreline for something useful. I mean, that might bring back something else anyway. That might bring back like a canopy, some sort of big bit of sail we could use to build a tent or whatever, a barrel with something in. So yeah, let's search the shoreline. Ooh, okay, hang on, we picked up a heart. You found a cracked lens from a telescope and lit a weak but warming fire. It was enough to dry you off and go on your way safely. And we didn't have to get nudie on the beach. Okay, right, cracked lens from a telescope. Keep that. Keep that on us, I think. At last you have reached the end of the bay. Not far away from you, a large box is bobbing on the waves, and you can see an upturned dinghy on the headland opposite from you. Pull the crate ashore, then swim to the dinghy, get on the crate, and swim to the dinghy on it. Effectively, this is asking whether we want to have the crate securely on shore, and then go to the dinghy, or possibly risk losing the crate, but then also be able to get to the dinghy a little bit more successfully because we've got something to kind of float around on. I think let's pull the crate ashore and make sure that's safe on the beach. Let's do that, shall we? It turned out to be a box of carpentry tools. We'd have to go back for it to fix the dinghy. Okay, I mean, do we need the dinghy? What are we going to do with the dinghy? There's nothing out there. We can't just row off into the middle of nowhere. Okay, the dinghy is damaged, but it can still be repaired, even with your questionable skills. Okay, so we can either fix the dinghy or take a break before work. I mean, that looks like we're having a bit of a sing-song. Oh, it started to rain on the island. Botherations. Take a break before work. Let's do that. Let's have a bit of a sing-song. That looks fun. Just start singing. Why not? After resting, you go back for the box and get to work. Oh, okay, that was just a fun thing of just sort of sitting about having a sing-song. You've patched up the dinghy. Now it'll be enough to reach the wrecked ship or the mysterious cave darkening among the rocks. But that's all tomorrow. Okay, so wait out the night. You lie in the bottom of the boat and fall into a restless sleep. All night long you dream of a shipwreck and a raging sea. Oh, okay, right, we're asleep in the dinghy. We're asleep in the dinghy. Okay, right, I didn't see that. And now I've opened up a couple of extra... Oh, okay. So now we've opened up either the cave over there, which we did notice earlier whilst we were looking around the map. So we've opened that up, or we could then use the dinghy to go over here to the shipwreck and have a look around. Okay, and we're over here sort of chilling out, having just woken up. Right, I mean, yeah, have we got another source of food? Do we need to eat again? I kind of feel like maybe we should eat some more food before we head off for another day. Because otherwise we are going to be exhausted again. But maybe we could find food over at the shipwreck. I kind of feel like if we're going into a big dark cave, we need to be slightly better prepared. With, I don't know, some sort of weaponry or a torch possibly. Something to, light the way. Because it looks dark. It's going to be dark in there. I doubt they've got any kind of lighting system. So I think maybe we head to the shipwreck first, have a poke around, see what there is. There might be some really handy stuff in there. I mean, we know there's going to be no people because the game sort of told us that we were the only survivor. So we're not going to be surprised, maybe we will be, but I was going to say we're not going to be surprised by somebody going, boo, and jumping out of the captain's cabin and going, hey, I survived, friend. I think everybody but us has perished. So it will be just a case of looking around and maybe finding some interesting bits and bobs. And I think, yeah, that's a better course of action than heading into that cave first. I think we have to be prepared to look in the cave. So this will help us prepare a bit. Maybe, yeah, we can find useful stuff in here. Maybe, yeah, more food, some sort of, yeah, weapons, swords, cutlasses, shooty gun type things, other tools or whatever. So I think, yeah, we'll head over to the shipwreck first, but we will do that next time. We're going to come back and carry this on, I think, because yeah, I do like these games. I do like them. I think they are quite fun. Yeah, I mean, okay, they are a bit daft. Points are a bit daft, and sometimes the decisions are, yeah, a little bit kind of wibbly. It's sort of a bit, well, that's not logically what somebody would do. But okay, fine, we'll go for that option. So yeah, they are a bit daft at points, but they're just quite enjoyable and they're quite laid back to play. They're very laid back. They're just so easy and sort of so simple to play. And that does make sometimes a bit of a refreshing change. Because other games you play are quite intense. You know, there's a lot going on. You have to consider quite a lot of things. This is just, here's a situation. What do you want to do about what's happening right now? That kind of thing. And yeah, I quite like that. It's nice and simple, nice and straightforward. But yeah, I think, yeah, we'll come back and pop down to the shipwreck. I think, yeah, I want to come back and just see what's going on. Because, yes, I think we can't wrap things up now. We can't just finish things up at the moment because we've only really just got started. We survived all this lot. We survived, you know, a mutiny and a shipwreck and being kidnapped, of course, right at the start. We survived that too. All these things we've survived. We've not starved to death. We fell off a cliff. We're still here. So I think we'll come back next time and see what happens. I am surprised we haven't died. I'm surprised we haven't met our demise quite yet. I mean, I'm sure that's still to come. I think we still have 3 hearts though. So that's not too bad. But there are, I think, certain events that just kill you outright. There are some things which just, you know, they kill you straight away. So that might still happen. I do not know. So, yeah, we'll come back next time and go down to the shipwreck, then go to the cave and see what else awaits us on our big, exciting, deserted island adventure with our big fancy pants sort of noble, dashing hero chappy, shall we call him. I think that's quite a good description. It might not be the most sort of overly practical of people, but yes, he looks very, very smashing indeed. So yeah, we'll come back next time and see how we get on. Hopefully you did enjoy this. If you did, please do leave a like. That would be most marvellous indeed. And also, if you're not already, then please do subscribe to keep up to date with how we get on here next time out in Choice of Life Wild Islands. But for now, thank you very much for joining me in the Geek Cupboard, and I'll see you next time.
Move out of the way, friend. I'm going to completely ignore you and do some comment moderating. Kung Fu Croquet. Maria, you've broken my heart. There you go, some more flowers that I stored on the back of my pants. Lovely. There we go. As you can see, I'm having the wildest of times. Enormous banana massacre.